Hello and welcome to question 6 of the 5.5 homework. Here the question simply asks us to evaluate the integral by making the given u substitution, and it's already giving us our u equation, which is u is equal to cosine theta. And the equation here, our integral, is cosine to the power of 7 theta times sine theta d theta. And if we go over to my paper, so the first thing you want to do is determine what our u and du equations are. So u is already given to us, it's cosine theta. So the way we find du theta is by taking the derivative. So the derivative of u is du, and derivative of cosine is negative sine. And since we have a positive sign on the actual integral, we're going to divide our negative sign by -1, giving us negative du and sine of theta. So here we have our du equation and our u equation. And now that we have those two, we can go ahead and kind of plug this in. But first we're going to manipulate this cosine to the 7th theta. And if we go back to our derivative laws, we know that having a exponent in front of our trig identity means that it's actually a a chain rule within itself. So the cosine is the inside of your x to the 7th here. So I just went ahead and wrote it the way that it would be. So the cosine is inside of this imaginary x to the 7th. And then sine of theta stays the same, d of theta stays the same. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and plug in our equations. So u goes into our cosine theta to the power of 7, and our du is sine theta. And right here, this is where we're going to want to take the antiderivative of our integral. So we do that, and u becomes du to the power 8 divided, or -1/8, and then plus our constant. Now that we have this, we're going to go ahead and plug in our original function, our original integral. So -1/8 times cosine theta to the power of 8 plus constant. And just to go ahead and check that everything is correct, when we take the derivative of this, it is a chain rule, of course. So the outside function is -1/8x to the power of 8, and our inside function is cosine theta. So the derivative of -1/8 x to the power of 8 equals x to the 7th, and our derivative of cosine is negative sine. And when you go ahead and plug everything back in together, like so, you get cosine theta over 7 to the minus sine of theta. And that is exactly what we had over here originally with. So, and everything is correct on the screen as well. Thank you.